Welcome to Salisbury University on the Air, a program highlighting the activities and the people of the campus. I'm your host, Susan Purnell. As we are fully into the holiday season, it is an ideal time to take a look at what we have, what we are thankful for, and how we can give back. SU students, faculty, and staff give of themselves throughout the year, and today we highlight some of those efforts. Here to tell us about how SU community members are helping campus neighbors and beyond are Joe Benish, Director of Orientation, Transitions, and Family Programs, and Dave Gatoski, Director of Housing and Residence Life. First is Joe Benish. So welcome, Joe, and happy holidays to you.
Thanks for having me.
Great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, a lot going on, right?
A lot going on.
And not just now, but all year long. You know, SU has many great students who individually can make a huge impact, but when you put them all together for events like the big event, they make a major impact on our community.
They sure do.
Tell us a little bit about that event, how many people are involved, the success of it, that sort of thing.
Yeah. So the big event is something that happens every year. It used to happen in the spring, and they kind of changed it around. They have two events now, but the big event had about 500 people participate in it this year.
500 students?
500 students participated.
Amazing.
And they did about 36 houses around the community, all folks who kind of just needed help with. It's a lot of leaf raking, but they also do some other outdoor small projects that the homeowners might need.
That's probably why they changed it from spring to fall, because it falls in the
Yes,
fall.
exactly.
You need help, you know?
And it's actually something that schools all around the country do.
Are there other projects? I know this is led, I guess, by the Student Government Association. Am I right? Are there any other projects that they work on for the community too?
So they do. In the spring they'll do an event called I Love Salisbury, and that's an event that last year we held in the spring, and we worked with the Salisbury Zoo, the City Park, the Lake Street Playgrounds, and a few other playgrounds around the area, and they kind of altered that program because they wanted it to be one that was a little bit more broad-reaching. So the zoo, a place that anybody can go to access, the free zoo, so everyone has access to it. So they wanted to be able to give back to a community effort like that.
So what did they do at the zoo?
So they did mulching, they did planting, they fixed all of the fences leading around the zoo. They did some bench painting, they pulled out bamboo. They did a ton of things.
That's really remarkable. It really is. If I'm a person who wants some help from the college and to mow my lawn or rake my lawn, how do I get in touch and tell them, please put me on the list?
Yeah, so for the two events that we do, that big event and I Love Salisbury, they are, like we said, done by the Student Government Association. And for that, you just have to visit their website, which is www.salisburysga.com. And they have a link on there, a page specifically for both of those events that kind of details that information.
So you sign up online.
You can sign up online. And then this year we also had done some outreach, and we did some door hangers in certain communities to kind of get the word out there.
Now, going back to the fact that this is the holiday season, and meals are a real important part of our holiday season, at least they are of mine. But there's so many people with food insecurities, and I know SU has jumped in and tried to help this situation.
Yeah, so we have a Clark Honors College student. His name is River Meyer, and part of his UN Millennium Fellowship project was to collect items, and he provided 55 Thanksgiving dinners to families within our community, which was great. And I know a lot of students kind of participated with that project as well, outside of just River, but he was the main person that did a lot of that.
So who did help River out?
The Student Government Association did, the Honors College, a few other places.
Oh, that's amazing. I also think there's some athletic teams who help in the meal preparation or meal delivery. Is that right?
I did, yes. And I did forget to mention also that the dining center, our university dining program, they were a large part of that project, as well as Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company. They also made some donations to that same project. But in terms of the athletic teams that kind of participate with that, our women's lacrosse team, they coordinated a meal to a local family at Thanksgiving as well. And then each member of their team was responsible for collecting one piece of that meal, and they donated it to a family in need this year as well.
That's wonderful. And the SU varsity baseball team, I think they work with meal donations all year long, don't they?
Yeah, so each Friday, their team buys and prepares and serves breakfast to Halo, which is the Hope and Life Outreach Ministries program here in Salisbury. And they really participate in that that
I mean,
program
they
each
actually
Friday.
go there and they prepare the
All
meals,
those
serve
things.
the meals.
Yep.
That's impressive.
It's dedication to the community, which I think is a vital part of, our sports programs and our student organizations, kind of getting out there.
And then you have a club baseball team that has put their expertise into helping the community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the club baseball team, they actually volunteer with Wacomico County's Field 7.5, and they volunteer as umpires for the Fruitland Little League and the Eastern Shore Force. And they've also done an adaptive baseball program that the club baseball team has kind of worked with, and for students who have physical and intellectual impairment. So they've been a really good job of kind of connecting there and getting involved with that.
That's amazing. Well, it's so impressive how much SU gives back to the community, and it's been increasing. It seems to me. I mean, I hear more and more about this than I ever did in years past. So particularly, I guess with COVID, things became really neat. People became very needy, and
They certainly do.
You guys stepped up to the plate, and we thank you for that.
Yes, thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
it's really takes all of the students to kind of be able to do that. So everyone kind of finds their own niche, but
It's a village.
yeah, it takes a village.
A college village.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Joe.
No problem. Thank
Appreciate
you.
your
Thanks
being
for
here.
having me.
It's amazing to see some of the impressive projects that students take on to help those around them. SU publicly launched We Are SU, the campaign for Salisbury University in 2019. The campaign is the largest fundraising campaign in SU history and is approaching the goal of $75 million. Let's take a look at how it's progressing.
Greetings, fellow Seagulls and friends of SU. In 2019, we launched the public phase of our We Are SU campaign, the largest fundraising effort in our nearly 100-year history. We've focused this campaign on the investment in people, our students, faculty and staff, alumni, future Seagull families, and friends who make up the SU community. I'm proud to say that we've raised nearly $67 million to date to provide scholarships for students to continue their education and to help our dedicated mentors open doors for students to see their own potential. The impact on our community is enormous. While we are close to reaching our $75 million fundraising goal, we aren't quite there yet. If you're wondering how you can support SU, the easiest way to make an impact is through legacy gifts. You can make SU a beneficiary of your estate, or a life insurance policy, or retirement plan. It's simple and easy, and we just ask that you tell us about it in writing so we can count your anticipated contribution toward our campaign total. Growing our endowment through scholarship and programmatic gifts, both current and future gifts, assures the financial health and stability of SU in the long term. Every gift, no matter the size, counts toward our campaign goal. Every gift is significant when added together with others. You make it possible for students to make tomorrow theirs at SU and to create a brighter future for everyone. As I prepare to retire from my position in June, it's my goal to finish this campaign strong. I hope that you will become part of the campaign for Salisbury University. Together, we are an extraordinary group of people who are weaving the fabric of support for our campus community. Together, we are SU.
Joining me now to let us know about some other volunteer efforts by members of the SU community, particularly faculty and staff, is David Kotoski, Director of Housing and Residence Life. Dave, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, how are you?
I'm great. Happy holidays to you.
Oh, you too.
Yeah. So I know you work with the Chesapeake Housing Mission very intimately. Tell me a little bit about what you do with them.
Well, relationships started with them a number of years ago, maybe 6 years ago. We had a student affairs director's service project. We wanted to do a service project, and we rolled out all these different options, and Chesapeake Housing Mission came up as one. And they were like, well, we'll build an accessibility ramp. And
So that's their major role, to do the ramps.
Right. They're doing some other, they have something called the Healthy Homes Initiative where they're doing other things. Like you might have a subfloor that's giving out and a door that might need to be replaced or a roof that might need a minor repair. But it did start out most definitely as building accessibility ramps for those on the shore in need. So we did the project, and it was wild. Like most of us, there were a couple of us that, drills and saws and done little projects like that. But the group of us came together, and most hadn't used a drill or a saw, and we're looking at the project going, my goodness, we're going to build a ramp in 7 hours, and there's no way.
But you must have somebody with some expertise.
We did. Chesapeake Housing Mission provides they provide the plan. They get the client, they provide the plan, and we provide the team. And they have a project manager who has the experience. And usually there's a volunteer manager, and I've kind of taken that role with Salisbury University on many projects. And so now that we know the projects, to watch a group come together that look at a project and go, okay, this is never good, there's no way. And by 2:00, we're driving away from the project after taking a picture with the client, and they've been able to get in and out of their house, which prior to us being there was very difficult to do.
So we'd have to carry them.
They'd have to carry. And what I've realized over the years as we've done these projects, the caregiver, I mean, yes, we're doing it for the client, but the relatives and the family and the friends that are working with the client to get them to doctor's appointments and get them out of the house, they benefit just as much.
Sure.
I mean, it's to be able to spend 9 or 10 people spend 7 or 8 hours at someone's house to be able to change their life. Pretty incredible.
Yes, that's a good feeling. Now, which SU groups are involved in this mission?
Well, there's actually many. There's so many volunteer opportunities for the student groups and faculty and staff. So this is one of them, and I think people know that now after 6 or 7 years, we've done so many. I'll get contacts and say, hey, listen, we heard about this and we want to build a ramp. So I've worked with fraternities and sororities. The rugby team's done a few. Women's softball has done a build. Housing and Residence Life, we usually do 2 builds a year with our student staff. And then our professional staff does a build, part of training, service projects. And then we do also 2 faculty staff builds a year. So we end up...
How many altogether?
Oh, geez. COVID was a little difficult because we were getting about 5 or 6 done in a year. But prior to COVID, those 3 years prior, we were doing 10 or 12 builds a year.
That's impressive, really. Yeah.
So of their 100 projects, Salisbury University was doing 10 of them.
So another subject, faculty and staff at the Purdue School of Business have a special way of getting involved during the holidays to help other people. What is that?
They do. They have a couple. They participate in the Marine Corps project, the Toys for Tots. So there's a bin in the Purdue School, and people can drop off, items there for the Toys for Tots, and then so they participate with that program. And then I think. I think Purdue also participates in the Salvation Army ringing program in the area, so it's fun to go to the store because all of a sudden there's a faculty member. You're like, faculty members ringing a bell in front of Walmart or Acme or Food Lion.
That's one thing I've never done is ring. Well, this is my busy season in the jewelry store, but I've never rang the bell. But I'm so impressed with the people that stand up and do it.
Oh, I know. And you figure at this time too, I mean, everything is so virtual and digital. Like there's not a lot of people that walk in and out of a store with change. Like you have to be really intentional now.
You're probably right about that. My son never has any money or anything but a credit card. On him. He does everything by his debit card. Right. So you're right. You can't really put the debit card in the kettle. So that must be a challenge for them right now.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Let's talk about children. Okay. I understand the School of Social Work has created an opportunity for people to brighten the holidays for some of our youth. Tell me a little bit about that.
I think they have a tree with ornaments on the tree, and on that tree, on those ornaments are descriptions of toys and things that needy student or needy
children
in the area have put in their wish. And the
Oh,
social
so
work
they're
program.
actual wishes.
Their wishes, what they would really like as a gift. And the social work students and staff will grab those ornaments and go buy that, and they'll hand that in so a student, so a child has, something extra special to open.
It's funny, we used to do that when I went to Bennett High School. They called it Bennett Youth Cares, and every Christmas we would get a list from the social services department, I guess it was, of very needy children, and we would collect. We knew their ages and their sex. That was pretty much it. But we would collect for them, and it was probably one of the more profoundly meaningful things that I did in high school was to work with that group. It was terrific. Now, staff in the administration and finance division also have coordinated some opportunities. What can you tell us about those?
They participate in a program that's very similar to the Toys for Tots, but it's for seniors. So it's a program for
Toys for Seniors.
Toys for Seniors, kind of a Home Instead Senior Care offers a program that's like be a Santa to a senior. So they'll very similar to the social work program. They'll have a tree with ornaments, and then there are suggestions on what an individual may need. So it's for seniors that may not have somebody for the holidays to spend with them, or they're in a very difficult financial situation.
How do they get their names?
I'm not really sure.
It's
almost like it's for social work, and I'm not sure how they get,
but they get
their
them.
referrals, but they get them, and they fill them out and they hang them on the tree, and people come by and take them.
That's fantastic. They make such a difference, I'm sure, in the lives of those people.
They do. I think it's really important that, as our faculty, staff, and our students, they come and they work. Students come to school here for a few years, and this is their home. For faculty and staff, it's just our opportunity to be more involved in our community. Many times with our students, to get them to understand, like, this is where you live, like, this is your home, and this is your opportunity to give back to Salisbury.
Well, I know the community appreciates all that SU does do to make this a better community. And I thank you for your efforts and for filling us in on all these exciting projects that you have going on this time of year.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you again for being here. As the semester winds down, so do the events on campus, but there are still a few remaining, many of which can help us get into the holiday spirit. Let's take a look at some of the events this month. During this time of year, I'm thankful to live in a community where individuals care so much about one another and are willing to give their time and effort to help others. I'd like to thank my guests, Joe Benish, SU Director of Orientation, Transitions, and Family Programs, and Dave Gutowski, Director of Housing and Residence Life. I'm Susan Purnell, and this has been Salisbury University on the Air. Thank you for watching, and have a safe and healthy holiday season.
Greetings, fellow Seagulls and friends of SU. In 2019, we launched the public phase of our We Are SU campaign, the largest fundraising effort in our nearly 100-year history. We've focused this campaign on the investment in people, our students, faculty and staff, alumni, future Seagull families, and friends who make up the SU community. I'm proud to say that we've raised nearly $67 million to date to provide scholarships for students to continue their education and to help our dedicated mentors open doors for students to see their own potential. The impact on our community is enormous. While we are close to reaching our $75 million fundraising goal, we aren't quite there yet. If you're wondering how you can support SU, the easiest way to make an impact is through legacy gifts. You can make SU a beneficiary of your estate, or a life insurance policy, or retirement plan. It's simple and easy, and we just ask that you tell us about it in writing so we can count your anticipated contribution toward our campaign total. Growing our endowment through scholarship and programmatic gifts, both current and future gifts, assures the financial health and stability of SU in the long term. Every gift, no matter the size, counts toward our campaign goal. Every gift is significant when added together with others. You make it possible for students to make tomorrow theirs at SU and to create a brighter future for everyone. As I prepare to retire from my position in June, it's my goal to finish this campaign strong. I hope that you will become part of the campaign for Salisbury University. Together, we are an extraordinary group of people who are weaving the fabric of support for our campus community. Together, we are SU.
Here's another look at the events on campus.